All right, hello everybody. Welcome to our winning podcast. I am Avon Winspar, your host. Thank you for joining us this evening. Today we have our guest Evri, and he is going to be talking about his various dragons that he has made and OCs that he has created. Thank you for being here, Evri. Go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, so I'm Evri. Honestly, probably on the Renaissance podcast. Asked I would be only. Okay, actually, no, I'm not gonna make my age. But yeah, for the record, there is a lot of OCs.
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. He has about 22, right? You have 22 OCs tonight.
Probably more.
More?
I I don't know.
More? All right. Well, all right.
I
Well,
just got the
we're
ones
gonna
like
stick.
did put in there. It's like excess of 30.
I gotcha. Well, we're gonna stick with like your top. Well, we're gonna stick with like your top 10, and the top 10 that
Yeah,
you use, and really stick to that sort of thing, because I know we can get lost in the weeds with so many OCs. But thank you for having us. So one of our first few questions of the night, so what really inspired you to make so many dragons in the first place?
literally nothing. So I'm one people who joined the Wingspire game back when it was early access, and that's really how I created most of my OCs.
Oh, okay. So you started with Wings of Fire, is that right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
as of right now, Wingspire and HTTYD are my only two franchises I have OCs with.
I see. Okay, so How to Train Your Dragon as well. All right, very cool.
Yeah.
So where did your love of dragons start? So I know, like, most of us, I mean, not all of us, but something inspires us to really be attracted towards dragons. What is your story and origin of, loving dragons and being fascinated with them to create characters and stories like that?
That actually goes back all the way to, I think it was February or something in 2021.
Oh,
And so we, so for the record, earned my divorce, so you are gonna hear me say my mom's and my dad's. But it it was at my mom's.
you're.
My little brother had gotten home from the book fair with the book three graphic novel, and
Mhm.
actually I was the last of the three of us to read it. And actually, I read it about, what was it, three times before I generally, like, I got really interested and wanted to read the other books. And now I have the entire series sitting in my freaking room. But yeah,
Mhm.
this was pre book 15 stuff. So I think it was about March same year. I created my
Okay.
oldest OC, the Spear Lorraine Wing, who is his canon, whatever you want to call it, his canon character. He is is the other brother of Glory, and he is married. He's actually married to a Sandwing, and and
Well,
the backstory there
well,
is um sorry, what?
before we dig deep into the stories of these characters, you might want to give us a little bit of background about what the Wing of Fire is and what kind of dragons there are. People like myself haven't read the entire series, so we're kind of curious
Yeah.
about to what it's about and why you chose this particular series to draft your characters around and that sort of thing.
So Windspire is a series made by Tweety Sutherland, the same author as Warrior Cats. That's and I have read all the books, there's about 10 tribes spread across the continent. Pyria and Pantala, with Pyria having 7 and the other 3 being on Pantala. So there's, let's see, this is going to take a sec. Mudwings, Sandwings, Skywings, Seawings, Rainwings, Icewings, and Nightwings. Those are all Pyrians. And then the Pantolans and Tried are Silkwings, Hivewings, and Leafwings.
I see. So yeah, it sounds
I
like
see. And they're all
it sounds like they have. It sounds like they have. It sounds like they have, dragons for almost every kind of biome that you could come across. Is that right?
pretty much.
I see. Okay. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
What makes these species different from each other? Is it like, specific
It's mainly like
specific features?
physical
Is it culture?
appearances and like things they can do. So for example, Rainwings can spit venom, I guess you could say. Shoot venom from their fangs. Mudwings can spend an hour underwater. Seawings have gills, so they can breathe underwater. And also can see in the dark and have, I guess, have glow in the dark scales as well that they can flash. Gosh, sandwings are kind of similar to camels, so they don't need much water and can survive well in the desert because that's where they live. And they have tail barbs like scorpions. That's more deadly. Let's see. Skywings are kind of like your typical dragons. Huge wings, biggest out of any tribe. And then let's see. Icewings means they're more northern Russian type dragons. They are probably most strict out of any tribe. And they can also breed ice. No pun intended, by the way.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then Nightwings, yeah, they can breathe fire. Or have second best night vision. And have powers that vary depending on the amount of moons. So the world they live in, there's 3 moons. So one moon can be or prophecy, 2 moons, both, 3 moons they used to think made animus, but most suspect it just makes the energy stronger. And another thing I think it does with 2 moons is it can make 1 power stronger.
Interesting. So,
and then let's see that.
Is there an explanation as to how these moons really give their power to the dragons?
No.
It's just
that
no.
You probably have to get like extremely scientific. And hey, I'm good at science, but not good.
Well, it is fantasy.
Like I don't know.
Well, it is fantasy science. Yeah. Fantasy science.
Yeah.
Fantasy science is always a bit, difficult to work with. It can vary.
Yeah,
it can vary on different things. Like I talked about in my last podcast.
Yeah.
I'm trying to develop a world that's sort of very similar to our world and how physics work and how they got their powers and their biology and things like that. But other people, they're just like magic exists, and our dragons are somehow attached to this magic, and some people have very detailed explanations, sort of like Daleth. Daleth in our earlier podcast explained how he created that the magic actually comes from the planet itself, and there are these ley lines throughout the planet, and that give the dragons their power because that's where life formed. It formed on these ley lines.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
What am I? Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
One of
No,
my
you're good. Go
OCs,
ahead.
one of my OCs actually, I used quite a bit of biology when I was um creating their picture. I'll get to her later. But she is a Nightwing Seawing hybrid.
Mm.
And I'll get
Mm.
into the details later. But when drawing her, I actually was able to really eh, implement quite a bit of scientific stuff into the drawing as well.
Okay, cool.
Oh, and that's
Okay,
no
cool.
like fantasy biology. It's like actual biology, science,
Cool.
whatever.
Yeah,
Cool.
very nice.
Yeah,
I
very
really
nice.
appreciate characters.
I really
Because
appreciate
I mean, it
characters
makes
like
them
that.
more real.
Because
to
I
me.
mean, it makes them more
You know
real
what I
to
mean?
me.
I mean,
You know
would
what
you
I
agree
mean?
to that?
More
I
realistic,
mean, would you
yeah,
agree to that?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
definitely.
Like, yeah,
And I really appreciate things like
and
that.
I really appreciate things
So
like
do you
that.
think?
So do you think
I understand
that? So
you
you,
have
I understand that you have
dragons
a lot
that are
of
inspired
dragons
with
that are
Wing of Fire.
inspired with
But
Wing
do
of
you
Fire.
think that
But do you think that you're going to create your own world for these dragons, or are they going to be part of the same world as Wing of Fire is?
As of right now, it's mainly save world. World. Actually, I I guess I do have one separate world. This is in another server. It's Star Watchers server, or the Scorched Lands if you want to join. And there's a little one called Evri's Home, and that's kind of like its own world.
Okay. And to be
But I don't have one for
And to
like
be
my
clear,
dragons in general.
oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, that's what
oh,
I
I
thought
see. Yeah,
Every was
yeah. That's what I thought. I thought
a
Evri was a husky kind of anthro kind of character based on your profile
Jabayan
picture.
Chevsky that can shift forward. He will be brought out later because I do have the Icewind OC of him.
Oh, okay. He has an Icewing form.
Oh, okay. He has an Icewing form. Interesting.
Yeah. So interesting thing about Every, he has 3 different forms: husky form, then human form, which is simply my profile picture,
Oh, okay.
and then his
Oh, okay.
dragon form, which I'm not. I'll have to check. I might. Let me see if I can find it, and then I'll post it in Media Nest later.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. That would be more than fine.
Well, tell us about like what are
Well,
some
tell
of
us
your
about
Yeah,
like
favorite?
I'll do that
what are
later,
some of
though.
your favorite?
Yeah. Sure. So
Yeah.
tell me
Yeah.
about
Sure.
what's your
So
favorite
tell me
kind of
about what's your
dragons
favorite
that you
kind
like
of
to write
dragons
for,
that you like to
your
write
favorite
for,
characters,
like your favorite characters,
or things of that
or
nature. Like
or things of that
dragons do you
Every
nature.
prefer
Like
writing for?
what
every and
dragons do you
Spear are like
prefer writing for?
every and Spear are like the main 2 I've written for. In RP, I definitely do
Okay.
plenty of writing.
Mhm.
Actually, I this is a.
Mhm.
I'm gonna pull up a Google Doc real quick and then copy a quote from it. This quote was from Lonerick. I think it's how it's pronounced. I have no idea, but that the they said it was earlier when I had been RPing, and it's kind of I. This is not getting off topic, but it's based around Every, because before he wasn't exactly um but the quote is based found it. Let me
You're a little bit choppy on the
oh
You're
no,
mic.
you're a
wrong
little
thing.
bit choppy on the mic.
Yeah, sorry. One, I am on a Chromebook. Two, I am using my earbuds, so it might cut.
Okay.
Okay. Just
Okay.
letting you know.
Just letting you
Yeah,
know.
just
Mhm.
Mhm.
got it. Yeah, I just posted the quote in the chat, but that quote was sent by Lonerick a while back, and it's honestly one that I feel like really, really relates to him, because as Every is based around kind of my persona, and and in real life, I try to be the best person I can social wise, and try to make everyone happy. He, he's similar, but he actually tries to protect his loved ones.
I see. Well, I hope you try to protect your loved ones too.
Well, I hope you try to protect your loved ones too. It's one of the most important things that we can do for the people we care about.
Oh, I do. Trust
Okay, good.
Okay, good.
So I'm gonna read the quote if that's
So
okay.
I'm going to read the
Just
quote
so
if
that
that's
the listeners
okay,
at home
just so
Yeah.
that the listeners at home can get a sense
So
of
the
what we're
quote
talking about.
itself is,
So the
"You
quote
have a good
itself
heart and a good
is,
head,
"You have a good
and
heart
you're
and a good
certainly
head,
strong.
and you're
All you
certainly
need is
strong.
control, and you'll
All
be a
you need is
guardian
control,
that
and you'll be a
any would pray to
guardian
have at their
that
side."
any would pray to
I
have
think
at
that
their
is a very
side."
nice quote.
I think that is a very nice quote.
Definitely,
Um,
very
definitely,
good for a character.
very
And
good
for a
for a
personality.
character.
I mean, we like
And for a
having strong
personality.
Yeah.
people
I mean,
in
we
our
like
lives.
having strong people in our lives.
But control is important. We
But
all
control
know
is
that,
important.
sometimes
We
can
all
let our
know that,
emotions get the best of
sometimes
us,
we can let our emotions get the
and we
best of
lash
us,
out
and
or
Yeah.
do
That
nasty
that
we
that
lash out
things.
or do
yeah.
crazy things.
That's kind of the issue Evri had at the time, was he would lash out sometimes and to those he didn't know. That was kind of a personality development I did on purpose, because I didn't want him to be like your average dog, like he is now.
I see. Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
Gotcha.
He likes Biba a
Gotcha.
lot.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right. So I know
So,
Every has
all
a
right.
dragon
So,
form.
I know
Let's try
Every
and
has a dragon
focus on
form. Let's
dragons
try
for a
and
little bit.
Yeah.
focus on dragons for a
So
little
what's
bit.
the story behind that?
So,
How did
what's the
he
story behind that?
acquire a
How did
dragon
he
form? Is there some kind
acquire
of
a
ritual
dragon
he has to
form? Is there some
perform,
kind of ritual he
or
has to
some kind of
perform,
requirement?
or some kind
So,
of
so it
requirement
kind
for
of
it
just
to happen? Like, what's the deal?
it kind of just came on. Like, I had the idea for a while, and actually, even before I had gotten to that point in RP, I had already been developing one in the game, and honestly, I felt like it'd be cool to give him a nice form, kind of, because at the time it was mainly Desi and I forget what his name is I don't know, but that they but Desi and someone else, whoever the counselor worker's name is, um, it was mainly them and Desi RPing at the time, where I joined the casual RP, and since then, I think thought it would have been cool to give every a dragon form, and I saw Icewind because Huskies are based because yeah, Huskies live in they're meant for snowy areas, so it only felt natural for
Right.
Yeah.
every to be Icewind.
Yeah, that makes sense. You wanna
Yeah,
have
that makes
something that
sense.
would
You wanna
live in
have
the same
something
kind
that
of
would
environment that he
live in
would.
the same kind of
Relate to the
environment that
OC.
he would.
Yeah, right. Yeah, makes
Yeah,
sense.
right.
Makes sense.
It
So I
makes sense.
guess
His
Makes
arch
sense. So
Yeah,
I
his
guess
arch enemy has a Skywing form. Really. In fact, I remember making a small prophecy, and it was originally Skywing. Then I changed it to a Husky. And Agera, his fur is red with some whites and blacks. So the red is kind of how I got Skywing.
interesting. Yeah, I'm not quite
interesting.
familiar with the
Yeah,
rivalry
I'm not quite
between
familiar with the
Skywings and
rivalry
Ice
between
Wings. Like,
Sky Wings and Ice
Oh, it's
Wings.
not
could you
Like
a
fill
what?
us in on that?
What?
it's
Could you fill us in on that?
no, it's not. That's not why Agera's Skywing. It's more or
Okay.
less his fur color that
Okay.
makes him a Skywing.
Oh, so it's just the color of the dragon?
Oh, so it's just the
That's what
color of
defines
the
them?
dragon? That's what defines them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Oh,
I
okay,
figured there'd be
interesting.
more to it, but okay.
I figured there would be more to it, but okay.
If you say so. All right.
If you say so.
So,
All right.
all right. So we got about
So
5 minutes
all
till our
right. So we
break.
got about 5 minutes till our break.
Is there anything that you want to talk about
Is there
Oh
anything
wow.
that you want to talk about
your main
specifically
character
about
before
your
we
main
head to the break?
character before we head to the break?
I don't really have a main character.
Yeah,
I,
fair enough. Well,
I have a
stick with your
lot
dragon.
Yeah,
of.
fair enough. Stick with your
Actually,
dragon, you know. Stick with your main dragon. What's your main dragon character that you typically use?
um, usually like Spear, Evri, or Starseeker. Starseeker is the one I was telling you about earlier. The one I implemented quite a bit of biology into.
Mm-hmm.
So she,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, is a Ceiling Nightwing hybrid, and the story behind her, actually, so a while back, I was doing a survey for stickers at my school, and I came across a drawing,
Oh.
and that's where I got the idea for Starseeker. And in the drawing, her her ears have like a maroon tone, and she has a scar over her eye that's purple. And actually, so Seawings have blue blood, right? And Nightwings have red blood.
Oh, okay.
And what's red plus purple
Oh,
make?
okay.
No, red plus blue.
Red plus blue. Yeah, it makes purple.
Red plus
Red
blue.
plus.
Yeah, it makes purple.
That's how I got the color for the scar.
Okay.
Was through that, and then the maroon
Okay.
kind of came through the
Yeah.
blue and
I
pink.
see.
So
I see.
that's the story behind her. Spear, yeah, is the oldest OC I made, the original OC.
Mm.
And actually,
Mm.
what when I kind of fantasized what Katane before it released, at that time I had no idea who Perspective would be. So I would kind of use him as protagonist.
Mm.
Mm.
Cool.
I see.
That's pretty neat.
Cool. That's
Yeah,
pretty neat.
I never really.
Yeah,
Like for
yeah.
my dragons,
I never really, yeah, like for my dragons,
what
I
the
never really
internal
thought
organs
about the
would really look
what the
like, or what
internal
kind of
organs
blood that
would
they
really
have.
look like, or what kind of
'Cause I'm still
blood
in
that
like
they
in my
would have.
Yeah.
realistic phase of like,
Because
oh
I'm
yeah,
still in like in
everything's
my
red,
realistic
that's just
phase
how
of
it
like,
is. But you
oh
know,
yeah, everything's red
changing the
because that's
color
just
of the
how
blood
it
would
is.
be
But
kind of
Yeah.
interesting.
changing the color of the blood would be
I
kind
wonder
of
what kind
interesting.
of blood Avon would
I
be.
wonder what kind of blood
He
Avon
consumes a
would
lot
give.
of
I mean,
minerals and things like
He
that.
consumes a lot
But I don't
of
know if that would
minerals
change his
and
blood
things like
color.
that. But I don't know if that would change his
it.
blood
I'm
color.
pretty sure it's just red.
Yeah. You think?
Because
Yeah.
Avon's just a normal wyvern. Is
Yeah. You think? Yeah.
Yeah. So he'd probably just have red blood. I don't know a lot about wyverns in particular. I do know though that they're basically pterodactyls but dragons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm.
we're still dragons.
Yeah. I
but,
mean,
you know,
we're
we
still
have our own
dragons, but you
kind
know
of
we're
species and thing going on.
we have
just
our
like you
own
guys
kind
do.
of species
Yeah.
and thing going on, just
You've
like
been
you guys do.
pterodactified, I guess you'd say.
But
Pterodactylified. Now that's a word.
pterodactylified. Now
It's
that's a
so
word.
true though,
I have-
because
Yeah.
pterodactyls have their front claws
Yeah.
on the wings, just like wyverns.
That's true. That is.
So it
very
only makes sense.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is very
Pterodactylified. I gotta remember.
Wait,
that.
yeah. Pterodactylified.
quick
I
theory.
gotta remember that.
Hey, wyverns are from a dragon who made it into pterodactyl.
Oh, there you go.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
there you go.
I could see it. But then what are westerns?
Yeah, it makes
from?
sense.
If
I
we're
can
from
see
a
it.
dinosaur,
But
the
then what are
westerns
westerns
gotta be
from?
a dinosaur too.
If we're from a dinosaur, the westerns got to be from a dinosaur too.
Well, could you give me a bit of background on westerns?
Well, westerns are the four-legged ones with wings, like your.
Well, westerns are the
typical
four-legged
dragon.
ones with
A lot of
wings,
people
like
here.
your typical dragon. A lot of
Yeah,
people
I
here.
I honestly don't
but
know how those ones come on.
How they what?
Probably some sort of bird and
how they what?
some bird and lizard. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, later if
Right,
you
yeah.
want, we could get
Yeah,
into some tribe biology and see how some of them came along.
Yeah.
Up to you, but
Yeah.
maybe
would
something
yeah,
to do.
Yeah, I would like to learn
yeah.
about.
I would like to learn.
Characters
Yeah, I would like to
come
learn
from
about
in sort
where
of
your
historical
characters
context. How did they
like, come
evolve?
from in
Yeah.
sort of a historical context.
and
How
that
did they
sort of thing. I would
evolve?
definitely
Yeah.
love to hear that.
And that sort of thing. I would
So
definitely
we're
love
Person,
to hear that.
personality and overall.
So we're at the
Right. Yeah, it would be really nice. All right, so we're
Right.
at the halfway
Yeah,
point.
it would be really nice.
We're gonna go.
All right, so
for
we're
a
at the
short
halfway point.
5-minute break.
We're gonna go for a
Thank you
short
very much for
5-minute
everyone
break.
listening.
Thank you very much for everyone listening.
And
We're
hope to
gonna
see you
go
back
on this
here.
break
Thank you very
and
much.
hope to
We'll
see you
be
back
back
here.
in
Thank you
5
very
minutes.
much.
Again,
We'll be
5
back
minutes.
in
So,
5
see you
minutes. Again, 5 minutes. So hope to see you there.
All right, everybody, welcome to the second half of our. Episode 4 with Evri. Thank you very much for staying tuned with us today. So in the second half, we're going to go a little bit more into detail about the biology of Evri's characters, see what kind of evolution they went through and that sort of thing. And then at the very end, of course, we will open up to the audience members for any questions that they may have. Unfortunately, today we do have to keep it at the hour. I have my own things going on after and can't stay around for long. But I hope we will have a wonderful second half on this podcast. So, Mr. Evri, are you ready to
Yep.
continue?
All right, cool. So
Good.
tell us.
Quick drink of
All
water.
right, cool.
Eat.
So tell us
sorry,
tell
say
us
that again?
more. I'm sorry, say that again.
Got a drink of water. Eat and ran back down here.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
As
Yeah,
I
we
am in the basement.
Okay,
back up.
awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
we like-
that's perfectly fine. All right.
Okay,
so we're gonna get
that's
right
perfectly
back into
fine.
it since we have limited
All right,
time.
so we're going to get
We're
right
gonna
back
go
into it
and
since we have
talk
limited
about
time.
the
We're going to go
biology
and talk about
So I know
the
you have a lot
biology
of
and evolution
Wing of
behind your
Fire
characters. So I
inspired
know you have a
species.
lot of
Tell us
Wing of
more
Fire
about
inspired
how they
species.
developed.
Tell us more about how they developed.
So I think I'm gonna start with Spear,
Okay.
since he is the OG.
Okay.
So Spear, he actually is married to an a, a sandwing. That took a sec to get out of my mouth.
Mhm.
But yeah, sandwing named Mesa, and actually Mesa comes from the Mesa biome, which is plentiful here in Utah, especially like Sand Hollow area, which is kind of where a lot of the Mesa biome is like yeah, hurricane, whatever, and Moab. Those are like the main Mesa biomes. But anyways, he has two. He has a son, two daughters, one of them adopted, and they actually have, I guess, what you could call a dual venom system. So they have their fangs and
A
the
venom
tail
system.
barb.
Oh,
Barb.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. So do they make the venom
Yes.
out
So-
from
Interesting.
what they
So do they
eat,
make the
or
venom
is the venom made
out from what they
from some
eat,
other
or is the venom made from some other method?
I'm thinking it's just kind of like snakes. Snakes where it develops in their body from, I think it's stomach. It's similar to stomach acids,
Okay.
but it comes out of the
Okay.
veins and the barb.
I see. Yeah, I'm not quite familiar with
I
how
see.
venom is made.
Yeah, I'm not
either,
quite
to be
familiar
honest
with
with
how
you.
venom is made
think they take-
either, to be honest with
usually
you.
it involves
I
diet,
think they
if I
take.
remember right. There's
Usually it involves diet, if I remember
antibodies.
right. There are
Some kind of
certain
diet system.
antibodies.
Okay.
in food.
I don't even
Yeah.
know if antibodies is the
Okay.
right word. Feel free to.
I don't even know if antibodies
I-
is the right
I
word.
think-
Feel free to
I think there's a kind of
correct
virus
me, audience members.
that comes in the venom, and that's how the venom like actually kills, is via some kind of virus.
A virus.
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure about that
A
because
virus.
Because
what I remember
Well,
from venom
I'm
is
not
Yeah.
sure about that
it
because
goes into the blood.
what I
and
remember
actually
from venom
attacks
is
the
that
blood
it
and
goes
starts
into the
breaking it down.
blood and actually attacks
And
the
it
blood and
makes
starts
you
breaking
the
it
kind of
down.
like virus.
And
That's
it makes you
Well, some
bleed.
venom
How it
also
works.
makes you clot. So I
Yeah.
guess it depends.
Well,
on
some
the
venom also makes you clot. So I guess it depends on the venom.
But
And there's rainweed venom, which is like jumping
Yeah,
into a
so-
fire, minus the heat. It's just pain,
oh yeah,
pure pain.
dang.
Oh yeah, very.
Sets your blood ablaze. I
It is
think.
probably one of the worst
Sets
ways
your
to die
blood ablaze. I
is
guess.
via rainweed venom.
Hmm.
And actually, rainweeds
Hmm.
use it as a projectile. So it comes. So they had two fangs, and
Projectile.
it comes out of there. And then sandwings, have a scorpion like tail barb, and they can inject it pretty much.
I see.
Like when they stab their tail barb that injects the venom into the body and slowly kills the dragon. However, there is a cure to both venoms. For rainwing venom, it's kind of a venom anti-venom situation. If you get the venom from a same relative and hit it at the same spot where the venom was, it cancels out the venom and stops the reaction.
I see. Very cool. I see.
And then for
Very
sandwing venom, it's bristling cactus, from all I know. Not sure how it works.
A cactus? Do you get the antidote from a cactus?
Yeah.
Do you get the antidote from a cactus?
It must be some kind of an antibody.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm not sure how it works.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, well, it's nice to have. I mean, I mean, it's nice to have because I know something that can fight off the venom.
Yeah.
Because I know some creatures, the venom is too fast, and like even if you apply anything, you're pretty much done for. How fast do these dragons' venom work through their prey or their opponent? Like,
Sandwing venom
depends
on.
Would you assume that they're out of commission?
Sandwing venom kind of depends where, because it reacts in different places. You're most likely most likely on the tail, because tail is where you're. I mean, you won't be able to fly for like a day afterward, but tail's the best place to get hit by sandwing venom. The worst place is through the head or the skull, which was in book 1, or in the chest in book 1 as well. For all I can epilogue.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, rainwing venom.
Yeah, I mean, if
you'll probably survive its scale for the wing, but if it gets into your bloodstream or eyes, you're dead quickly. That's how a character named Bitter died. He got hit in the eyes and the scar he had, and it got them freaking. Like, it is such a painful way.
Dang, that's
it is such pain.
It makes sense that you know if you're close to vital. It makes sense that if you're close to vital organs, the venom getting to them would definitely shut them down faster. I mean, yeah, the tail is pretty far away from organs.
Rainwing venom
and the wing membrane.
Rainwing venom
attached.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's kind of like fabric.
It's kind of like
just
fabric.
With enough stuff to keep the skin alive. I think that's how that works. Anyway,
I think that's how that works.
I'm pretty sure wings are made from a fabric-like material.
Yeah, it's more skin. It's more skin. I mean, it's not fabric, but it is definitely skin.
Skin.
So it will cut
fabric like
skin.
You
know, it does.
Yeah.
It would be leathery.
And I know.
Yeah, it would be leathery.
Yeah, leathery / fabricy, whatever.
Yeah, leathery / fabricy, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, going back to ice wings. Ice wings with their ice. I think there's an organ that because they radiate cold. Unlike those dragons, which just heat. Sandwing's the most heat. The other tried normal amount of heat. Eat. AKA sandwiches are kind of like.
Sandwiches are kind of like.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Furnaces.
Oh, furnaces.
Giant furnaces.
Oh, furnaces.
Giant furnaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, ice wings are like refrigerators, kind of. Like they radiate cold, and I'm assuming what that causes is it's too cold to make fire, and it just simply sparks it. And I'm assuming that I think that has to do something with their hydration level, because Isons are always more thirsty after they breathe. So I'm assuming they get it from the water they drink, and that freezes in their bodies, and they use it for what's called frost, which the ice.
I see. Yeah, that's an interesting hypothesis. I see. Yeah, that's an interesting hypothesis. I mean, water to be cooled down. Yeah, you would need the water to be cooled down in order to like shoot it out in a way.
Yeah, and
so yeah, there might be a special organ that's like holding that water, cooling it to freezing temperatures, and then projecting it.
Yeah,
That'd be interesting.
and it's kind of a muddling like thing. If part of their body gets too hot, specifically their snout, they can't breathe it. Similar to muddlings, if they're too cold, they can't breathe fire. Unlike other tribes, you can breathe fire at any time. And yeah, ceilings, those are probably like the most interesting when it comes to breathing, because somehow they have both gills and the normal or natural respiration system that other dragons have. Mudwings, I'm assuming, highly developed lungs or something. And actually, leafwings are like the one tribe that there's enough clear information about to tell what they came from. Which I'm thinking, based on the kind of pattern on their back, act with a wave-like pattern, and like physical standpoint, not like their actual scaling color, or like snow pattern on their scales. It's actually a like physical thing on their back. If you look on the ceiling, they have the exact same thing. But so I know they're part ceiling, and I'm thinking there's connection with plants because they have what's called leasing, so they can actually communicate with plants. I'm thinking that comes from rain. So I'm pretty sure it's rainwind ceiling or mudwind ceiling. I think rainwind ceiling though. I don't too.
Huh. Yeah, that's quite. I see. Huh. Yeah, that's quite. Yeah, that's quite interesting.
Hivewinds come from mudwings and no, not nightwinds. It's silkwinds. That took sec.
So Nightwings and Silkwings, what?
So Clearsight married. I think his name was Sunset or something. And after a while, it became a completely separate tribe called the Hivebees, which are similar to like bees and wasps. The air powers, I have no idea how they get. Actually, silkwings are similar to butterflies. So at age 6, they go through metamorphosis to gain their wings, and they also gain silk. And one other thing. There is a chance they can be flame soaked, which I'm saying. Yeah, so flame soak. Okay. What it is there's 5 different kinds of soap. There's gold soap, which is just glowing soap. Then you have, I think it's called, I'm assuming it's regular plain soap. Oak, same thing, but it actually burns. Then there's more normal soap, which they can use for like weaving and everything. And then there's sun soap, which is the most, which is the hardest for them to produce. They can only produce a little at a time.
they can only produce
because
a little at
their
a
bodies
time.
have
I
such
see.
protein.
Because
Do
their
these-
bodies have
Do
such
these
protein
dragons sort
that-
of like create?
I see. Do these dragons sort of like create
and do they wear
fabrics of different kinds, and do they wear certain things?
Like what are they used to
None of
sell?
them wear anything. The only thing
what are they
any
used to
tribe
sell?
None of
wears
them
is
wear
armor
anything.
for
The
a
only thing
lion.
any tribe wears
Okay.
armor
Or
for a
jewelry.
lion.
Okay.
They
Or
used it
jewelry.
mainly for weaving and building.
They used it mainly for weaving and building.
So for building material.
Okay.
That's interesting.
So for building
like,
material, that's
for
interesting.
roofs?
Yeah, for like
Like
webs.
for roofs
Yeah,
or
for, like-
No,
tents?
for like webs, I mean.
For webs?
For, like,
Yeah,
webs,
and I guess.
For like
Yeah, and
okay,
I guess
hammocks, yeah. What are
I,
the webs?
I,
for?
Okay,
I don't know
hammocks,
a
yeah.
lot of specifics.
What are the webs for like
I
prey?
don't know a lot of specifics.
No, webs to
Oh,
actually live on.
I see.
No, webs
What's
to
a
actually live on.
Oh, to live on.
Yeah.
And, okay.
Actually, I'm gonna take
And oh, okay. So how
Actually, I'm gonna take
So how big are these dragons? if
Sorry,
they're
what?
able
so how
to
big are these
produce
dragons if they're
Sorry,
able
what?
to
silk and
produce
these sort of things?
a lot of
Do you have
silk
any idea
and,
of
last-
how
these
big
sort of
time I
things?
checked, it
Do you
was
have an idea of how big
something
these
like-
dragons are?
I think full yards are like 16.8, 17.2. I know, I'll have to check sometime. If you just look up
check sometime.
Silk Queen height
Mm.
specs online, you should be able to find them. I think they're like 17.2 or something. I do believe they're the biggest drag. Full grown.
I do
17.
believe
So
they're the
they're-
biggest drag.
They're really
grown.
big.
So
I mean,
they're
that's like,
they're really big.
Yeah.
I mean that's
bigger
that's
than a
like
bus, pretty
Yeah.
much.
that's bigger than a bus, pretty much.
Yeah.
Dang, man, these are big
Yeah.
dragons.
Bigger than a
Dang,
mod
man,
truck
these are
is
big
in
dragons
length,
that were-
which is
Bigger than a
about
mod
14 and a
truck
half feet.
in length, which is about
They're
14 and a half
17 feet.
Mm.
There's
Yeah.
17.
Actually, Evri, he's about 16.3.
Actually,
A full grown
he's
X-Wing is about
16.
16.
A full grown
I think.
X-Wing is about
In his
16.
So he's not. No, 16.7.
In his dragon
So
form?
he's not.
Yeah, in his
so
dragon
16.7.
form.
I see.
Yeah, in his dragon form.
I see.
Because he's 24 in dog.
He's
So
24
that'd
in
make
dog.
him around
So
7
that'd make him
ish
around
years in dragon years.
7-ish years in
Yeah,
dragon year.
he's pretty young.
I don't know
Yeah,
that.
he's pretty young in dragon.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
So with every
Yeah.
So with
you know,
every
what's his expected
you know
lifespan?
what's
Like,
his
main
expected
form?
lifespan to be? Like what's his main form?
His main form usually is just his human form, which is my profile picture.
Human form.
And
Which
no,
is
he is not
profile
dead.
Okay.
And no, he is
He's
not
not what?
dead.
And he's not what?
Death from Puss in Boots.
Death.
Oh,
So,
Death
some
from
people,
Puss in
when they first thought of
Oh, Death
Some-
from
some
Puss in
people,
Boots.
when they
Actually,
first
Boots. He looks
I
different.
get
I
a,
see. Yeah, no,
Actually,
he looks
yeah.
different.
I'm gonna sidetrack on like how I first
I'm
got
gonna
here.
sidetrack on
So,
like how I first got
why-
here.
it was
so
back in November,
It was
Joser
back
slash
in
Rich
November.
did say
slash Rich.
so they asked to friend me on this board, and slowly I built up.
And slowly I
into
built
Inspire
up.
RP server, and that's kind of where I got my start.
And that's
Was
kind
through
of where I
that.
got my start.
And it was mainly Every
through that.
Red Rock,
And it was mainly
who is
Every
the
Red
older
Rock,
brother of,
who's
um,
the older brother
Mesa,
of
and then
Mesa,
and yeah, Spear,
and then
the oldest OC
and
of them all.
Spear.
And then
the oldest
there's
OC
one
of them
other
all.
OC
And then there's
that
one other.
sadly has not been used
that
on Wild.
sadly has
Oh,
not
that
been
I need to
on
get back
Wild.
to eventually.
Oh, that
Skype.
I need to get back.
Now, the name Skybreaker
No, the
and
name
Shermaride
Skybreaker
in
and
it used to be called Seven Peaks, now it's called Splash
It
Summit,
used to be
and
called Seven
it's
Peaks, now it's called
Provo,
Splash
Utah.
Summit, and I think it's
but
Provo, Utah.
there's the
But
there's a
there's
slide
the-
called Skybreaker,
there's a
and you actually
slide
get
called
air.
Skybreaker,
So that's
and
kind
you
of how I got the
actually
name
get air.
for Skybreaker.
So that's
For
kind of
that.
how I got the name Skybreaker. For that.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. I like,
Okay.
I like that.
Well, that's pretty cool. I
origin
like
story for that.
I like that little
Um,
origin story
Just
for
so
that.
everyone's
Yeah.
aware, we have about 5 minutes.
Just so everyone's
left on our
aware,
podcast.
we have about
This
5
hour has
minutes
gone by
left
pretty
on our
fast.
podcast. This hour has gone
So I'd
by
like
pretty
to
fast.
take the
Yeah.
last 5 minutes
So I'd
and
like
open
to
up the
take the
floor
last
to
5
any of our
minutes and
audience
open up the
members here. If they
floor
have any
to any of
questions
our
they'd like to
audience
ask
members here. If they have any questions
about
they would
his
like to ask
characters or
Evri
about
about
Wings of
his
Fire, I'm sure he could
characters or
answer
about
any
Wings of
questions that you
Fire,
may
I'm sure
have.
he could answer any questions that you may
While
have.
we wait for that,
While we wait for that, I'm trying to think of questions of my own that I haven't asked already. So what do you think is the future for your characters? Do you think you're going to write like a book series? Do you think
I
you're going to
am
write
in the
a
middle
short
of
story
writing
with these
one for
characters? Do you think you're
Fear
going to...
that kind of is a civil war with Stanley.
a civil war
With
with
Stanley.
Stanley.
There's Stanleys that
A
stick
civil
with
war with Sandwich.
There's
Yeah.
Stanleys that stick
It's
with
not all the Stanleys like
Yeah.
they do Queen. And that's
Stanleys
kind of
like
where I
they
got the idea.
do Queen.
That-
And that's kind of where I got the idea.
So
I see.
that's one in development, and then also a bit of backstory
That's one
for
in
every.
development, and then also
Well,
a bit of backstory for
in
every.
the middle.
Well,
Yes, there has already. Civil.
yes, sir.
Actually,
has already-
scoring the Ashwing, no, there has
Actually,
not.
scoring the
That was the
no,
War of
there has
Sandwing
not.
Succession,
That was
where
the War of
it
Sandwich
was
Succession,
fighting for Queen.
where it was fighting
And
for
in this
Queen.
case, they have a Queen,
In-
but
and in this case, they have a Queen.
it's
But
kind of like
it's
back-
kind of like
it's kind of like
like
our Civil War,
back.
kind of,
It's kind of like
of
our
where
Civil War,
some are rebelling.
Yeah.
where some
Yeah,
are
a civil
rebelling.
war is any
There is
Yeah.
difference between
Yeah, a civil war is any
There is difference
disagreement.
between-
Yeah, is
Yeah.
any disagreement at the
level,
yeah.
at the government level, who's really leading the people, and then you have people split on that, and then they take sides in factions and things like that.
exactly, and
They fight for it essentially.
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, if
Yeah.
anyone else wants to ask me
And
a
actually,
question,
if anyone else
I'll
wants to ask me a
just
question,
be in the general
I'll just be
BC.
in the
If
general
anyone else wants to
BC.
listen,
If anyone else
and
wants
I
to
will continue that
listen,
probably
and I will continue
like
that
half an hour after
probably
this. I'm gonna
half an
actually
hour
go for a bit
this.
after this to
I'm
not
gonna
only
actually go for
Peter
a bit
Charge
after
but
this
also
to
my earbud.
not only Peter Charge but also my
Yeah.
earbud. But yeah.
Okay. Well, let's
Okay.
see here. Stella, welcome
Well,
to the
let's see
podcast.
here.
Sadly, we only have 3
Stella,
minutes
welcome
left
to
on
the podcast. Sadly, we only have 3
You'll have
minutes
to
left in
listen
the
to rest on our
podcast, so
YouTube channel.
you'll have to listen to the rest on our YouTube channel, Winning Podcast with
Evri, I
Avon.
just wanna say thank you so
Um,
much for
By the way,
Evri, I just want to say
explaining
thank you so much
Yeah.
for
By the way,
explaining every
giving us more
character
details
that you've
about Wing
had
of
and
Fire, 'cause,
giving us more details about Wing of Fire, because I know some of us
Sure.
haven't read the whole series and things
Yeah.
like that, but I think
I learned a lot.
I think I learned a lot. I think I learned a lot.
Definitely
Yeah.
Actually.
variety of species. And
Definitely a
different kind of
variety of
attributes that they
species
have,
and different kind of
very
attributes that they
interesting
have.
do you have any
Very interesting
like,
stuff.
links to
Do you
share
have any
or
like
things of that
links
nature
to share
with our
or
audience today?
things of that nature to
I'm
share
sure
with
they
our
would
audience
appreciate it.
today?
If you have,
I'm
like,
sure they would
Google Drive
appreciate
of
it
your
if you
characters so that
if
they
you have
can
like a
look at
Google
what they
Drive
look
of your
like.
characters so that they can look at
and
what
do
they
you have
look
any,
like.
servers that
And
you're
do you
gonna be
have any
posting,
servers
future
that you're going to be
things on?
posting future things on?
I
That would be
there
nice
is
to know
my
as
server
well.
multi franchise chat
There is
RP
my
world
server
can be issue
multi-franchise
and
RP
and then
world can be issue.
and at Lego
And
Monsters
then
I do plan to
at
do a
Lego
bit of
Monsters,
a
I
backstory
do plan
behind
to
some of my
do a
OCs
bit
on that
of a
channel.
backstory behind
Oh,
some of
that's
my
on
OCs
YouTube.
that channel.
Oob,
Oh, that's on YouTube.
oob. First I'll have to make the announcement
Okay.
and
First, I'll have to
behind
make the
name change and
announcement.
everything, but
It's behind
yeah.
name change and everything, but
Sure.
And once again,
Sure.
and I'm gonna say this,
and
I
once
do
again,
think Wyverns are allergic to pterodactyls
think
that
Wyverns are allergic
at-
to pterodactyls that
mated with dragons.
Yeah.
mated with
I
dragons.
kind of see the vision.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I kind of see the vision. I'm
Yeah,
not
he
gonna
made-
lie.
earlier
I
in the
kind of see it.
podcast, he mentioned
It only
Yeah,
makes
he
sense.
made, earlier in the podcast he mentioned
into
that
wyverns.
pterodactyls would evolve
Yeah, I mean, they
into
got the
wyverns,
claws on the
and
wings,
yeah, I mean they got the
legs,
claws on the wings, they
of
got
course, all
2
of our
legs,
giant heads.
and of course all of
filled
our
with all that
giant
brain
heads,
knowledge.
filled with all that brain knowledge, as us wyverns.
Except they
have.
aren't triangular. Or
They
as
are
triangular.
triangular.
Yeah, we're not.
Or as triangular.
Yeah, not all of us are triangular headed. That's true.
We're straight horn.
All right, but
Thank
thank you so much for doing this episode with us today, Evri. Really appreciate you being here. To our audience members, thank you as well. Be sure if you missed this, or if you want to send this to friends because you guys didn't miss this, be sure to share our YouTube with your friends and things of that nature.
PGA, the winning
Next
podcast on
week,
YouTube.
TGA, the winning podcast on YouTube.
next week we have Faye, and Faye has been working on a very detailed story. I hope you can all join us for that one as well. Thank you again, Evri. Thank you again, audience. This is Avon signing off on our podcast this evening. We have reached the hour, and it is time to say goodbye. So goodbye, everyone, and thank you. All right, see you
I'll
around.
see you in Mexico next time.
I'll see you in Mexico next time.
Okay.